Minky, yeah, Minky, goodbye, yeah.
I played Ultimate General Gettysburg on a friend's system back in 2014. I thought it was okay, but it lacked that something that made me want to play it again, so I never bought it. It was very popular though, and so I watched the news of a new game with bated breath. Now, whilst I'm not an RTS expert, I have played a lot of Total War, StarCraft 2, Civilization 3, 4, 5 and beyond there, so I really like the genre. I'm just not good at this type of game, so often I only put a few hours in it at a time before I'm back to shooting things. Ultimate General Civil War was different. Back at my friend's house I spent the entire evening gripped by the game. I had no idea they had returned from their evening out. I said the children hadn't woken or been a bother, but I'm not sure I would have noticed. He and his wife went to bed and I stayed up playing. This one session lasted from 7:30 PM until 3 AM. This game is great. So rather than say this is just a sequel to Gettysburg, I will say that what Game Labs have done is taken the success and everything they learned from that title and used it as the foundation to build a bigger, better and far more interesting version of essentially the same game as before. Whilst Gettysburg was an interesting battle linked by some events, Civil War is a recreation of the entire American Civil War. During the conflict, 7 southern states individually declared their cessation from the US and formed the Confederate States of America. Then, in April 1861, the Confederates attacked the US fortress of Fort Sumter in Southern Carolina. This led to the Confederate States of America eventually becoming 11 states in the South with the Union in the North. The war ended after 4 bloody years in the spring of 1865, with estimates of between 620,000 and 750,000 people dying. This is more loss of American life than World War I and World War II combined. So, history out of the way, and you can play as either the Confederate Army or the Union Army, meaning you can win battles that were lost and lose battles that were won. However, the campaign is held together very well, and if I was forced to draw a comparison, I would say that Total War comes closest to troop movement. However, Ultimate General's movement actually feels a lot better. Troop selection is simple, and it feels like it's easy to keep a front line held together. Bringing troops forwards and backwards, using the terrain to an advantage and resupplying your troops with the caravan feels very intuitive. I particularly like the fact that you can trace a route with your mouse and the units will follow it, precisely making flanking as simple as clicking and dragging. Playing a battle is very simple. You do not create fighting units or manage anything in Civil War. Instead, you start each battle with a historically accurate amount of troops in a roughly similar situation to that faced by the real armies, so you don't have to worry about production queues or research. That makes sense. However, during the campaign, you also do not have to worry about production queues or research. You control a single army, but as I previously stated, you can win a battle that was lost, so I think it would have been good to be able to manage your finances and areas controlled in more detail. If you win a battle, you do earn money and prestige, which you can spend on replenishing your troops or choosing the different types of rifles and artillery. You can choose the army composition. However, it's a very basic management aspect that I think the game needs. The campaign then is not as complex as it could be, which has its good and bad points. You select a battle from the map and away you go. The larger battles are immensely time consuming. The campaign then is not as complex as it could be, which has its good points and bad points. You select a battle from the map and away you go. The larger battles are immensely time consuming. I was in one battle for over an hour without even realising. You'll have a lot of damn my coffee's cold moments as you lose track of yourself. So I'm not saying the game isn't deep, it's just that it could be deeper. I came to lament the loss of some troops. If I bought them nice new guns because they had done well in a previous battle and they got decimated, I would be genuinely annoyed that I didn't send some other cannon fodder into the breach. The maps are beautiful, they are hand drawn and everything is a lot more refined than the previous title. Cover and elevation work properly and issuing commands is simple and satisfying. You feel like you're in control of the army, and when the shit hits the fan, you don't feel an urgent rush to stop everything going wrong. You can counter an attack with a few simple troop movements and start your own flank. Leaving troops defending a town where you manoeuvre around a hill to flank is very satisfying. It's not perfect, the camera's a bit iffy sometimes, you cannot zoom in enough, you can miss things, the fog of war is annoying too. You should be able to see someone on a hill from a few feet away, and I wish the unit's turn rate was higher, but minor issues aside, the fact is, your battle line will rarely break. You can attack, be attacked and counter-attack whilst your line stays solid. This means there is a massive amount of free flow in each battle, and I was very impressed by the way this had me thinking constantly about how best to get to the side or rear of the enemy line. I wasn't expecting so much from a small development team. I knew I would compare this game to Total War. I felt that Creative Assembly made the best war games. I didn't think Game Labs had the stones to pull this off. However, they have, and what a game it is. I really thought this was going to be about half a Total War game. Instead, it's a full Ultimate General game, and Creative Assembly could learn a thing or two. Okay, there's no grand strategic map to manage, however you won't care, and you will soon forget your last love as you stare deeply into the blood-soaked eyes of your new love. Ultimate General Civil War is still in early access, so once the game is released I will write another review. However, I cannot wait until release to tell you about it. Go now, buy a copy, kill some enemies and laugh at how you once liked to manage a map.
Goodbye. Yeah.